As we bring you back into the booth, Adrian, Healey, Brian Dunseth, and the brand new GM of UN's men's national team soccer, Brian McBride. Brian, thanks for joining us. I tell you what, one day I was talking to you on our studio show, ESPN FC on ESPN Plus. The next day I turn around and you're appointed as GM. It seemed to happen very quickly. Just give us your perspective as to how.
Not so quickly. Not so quickly. It was definitely something that was in the works. Not an incredible long amount of time, but there was a period of interviews, and then had to wait and make sure everything was cleared.
Yep.
So, Brian, you walk into the job. Obviously, there's a bunch of things in your mind that you've bullet pointed that you want to take on. What was 1A? What was like the most important thing that you wanted to tackle first?
Well, I think the first thing is to really find out what's going on inside the camp. When you're outside, it's not necessarily something where you get to see the details that are being presented. The relationships certainly are a huge part of it, and that's been really nice for me in this camp. I've had a chance to spend almost a whole month with the group. Albeit there's still some players I haven't been able to reach out to. I look forward to doing that and building those relationships.
Those US qualities, Brian, you've talked about it a lot publicly already. Grit, determination, being hard to beat, something you exemplified, your group of players exemplified. How do you bring that back to the US?
I think it's got to be something that's communicated, and I can tell you it has been communicated by Greg. But I also think there's got to be a sense of understanding why.
Yeah.
And that message, I think, is one thing that's important. And I think as we move forward, it's across all parts of the landscape. It's not just the men's national team, it's the youth national teams, it's us really making sure that understanding whenever you step on the field, whether it's at U15s or you're the men's national team, the pride you feel should be just running through you.
So, Brian, the buzzword's vertical integration,
yep.
Right? So how do you bridge that gap? Bridge the gap not only with the men's national team, but the 23s and the 20s, but also maybe greasing the spokes a little bit with regards to U.S. soccer and all of their individual club teams?
I think there's some good work being done. I think one of the things Ernie's really implemented is having the youth coaches in Chicago. I know a lot of people are like, why do you do that? Yeah. You do that for games like this. You can all sit together and talk through when you're analyzing either whether it's your team playing or a different team playing, and the ideas will transfer down. So it allows the coach's side to understand it, and then for me it's about making sure that when they're in camp that the players understand what's required of them. So when you're U15, you might not think, okay, I need to act this way. Well, the whole point is to make sure that you're understanding of what it is to be a professional, yeah, even though you might not be a professional yet.
Big year for the US on many fronts. The Olympics, of course, you want to be there. Couple of generations have missed out. How important is it that Jason Christ and company get this right?
In my opinion, it's hugely important. 2008 was the last time we qualified, as you know. And you look at our last qualification for the World Cup. That's 4 years after Michael Bradley. Those guys are the ones that really are the ones we're counting on. They didn't have that experience. We need to make sure that we do everything we possibly can with our MLS clubs, with as much as the European side. And again, that is definitely falling towards me and making sure that we do as much as we can to try and sway clubs to let their players free. And it's an uphill battle.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.